Hi guys, Dorota Palicka, international nail artist and educator here, and today we are gonna get you through how to do an ombre, this time at the angle. Really beautiful, check it out in here. I love this technique and it's so effective even in a salon on the short nails, and there's lots of tutorials on that as well, so check them out. And now let's start. Cool winter ombre, I think it will look amazing in those pastel colors, so we are gonna go for a 236 as the first one, and this time I'm also gonna do the ombre a slightly different way, so make sure you remove any fluff which might be on the nail, and then we are gonna apply this color, but you want to place it at the angle. Okay, so those pastel-y one on the top at the angle, and the next one, of course, for any kind of winter omelette we need some blue, so that's 237, and again I'm placing this color at the angle. Next color is a pink, 277, and again at the nice angle. Yellow of my cake, 198. Okay, so this way we have placed the colors at the angle, and we are going to do the ombre at the angle as well. For the easiest way, for an ombre, is to grab your sponge, and then I like to use the back of the form. Trim the sponge into a smaller size. Ideally, you wanted it to be the size of the tip. So what I'm going to do is I will try to cut it into the size of the tip. And same, I would do it on the size of the client nail. So if they're quite short, I would cut a pretty short piece. And that will be my length. So this one I can keep it for some sort of different design, and then this one we are going to use for this ombre. You want to remove any fluff which might be on the sponge, and you can see the sponge has different sides, so you want to use always the side which has been cut. Don't go for the slidey one. Okay, and now we are going to start ombring it. The tweezer is actually a very useful tool as well, because it helps me to don't play with the sponge. And what I'm doing is this clean parts, that's the parts which are touching client's nail folds. So when I'm going this is a part which touch the folds, so you are not going to bring in the product on the client's cuticles or client's nail fold. And then we are just gently dabbing in the product into the nail. As you can see, the sponge has drinked in a little bit of the product, and we also got some fluff, so you have to tap it in, and then the fluff is going to stick into the form. And this way we have created the first layer. If you want to make it more pigmented, you can sprinkle it with the clear acrylic powder, and I've got some powder in here, and I'm just going to sprinkle it so gently. And this is a stage when everyone thinks oh, this is going to look so rough. Once we put the top coat, things look really nice and pretty. Let's cure it 60 seconds and then choose another color combination. So again, I'm just cleaning my tip, and this time we are going to start with the blue. So blue on the top, and then we are going to grab some turquoise, color 202. This one is a really beautiful one as well. I'm just going to place it on the bottom. Pink one next after the blue. So when we're choosing the color combination, I think this is really important as well, that you kind of choose the colors which blend well together. So turquoise will blend really nice with yellow. Pink blends really beautiful with yellow as well. And then blue will blend really nicely with the pink. Okay, I'm just grabbing the other piece of the sponge I have in here, remove any fluff on it. You can see there is always lots of dirt, and I think this is crucial about this technique. If you do not remove the fluff, you can get a pretty messy result. Again, clean part is around the cuticle area, and I'm kind of doing it at the angle. And then dab it in on the top. Clean angle around the sides. and then start blending. As you can see, my sponge is a little bit too short, so if I'm too short with the sponge, you want to lift it up so you don't blend with the too short piece of the sponge. And then doing another side. And we have got another amazing ombre. I love it that we are doing it at the side. And then let's cure it. Next color combination. So this time we are going to start with the pink. Pink on the top. Blue. And again, as you've seen it in the previous one, these two color blends amazing. Then we are going to go for the green really blends well with the blue too, like turquoise to be exact, and then yellow on the bottom. I cannot use the same piece of the sponge which I have used before because it has a different color combination. So what is my choice? I can either cut a fresh piece of the sponge, or I can just change it so slightly, like, and use a clean part of it and start blending. This one is very, very short, so I have to be quite precise with blending. And then you can see it, I will be missing the color, so straight away I'm just gonna go on the different angle of the sponge and blend those two colors together. So as I say on the beginning of the video, best way to do it is to make sure you do have the size of the nail. That makes like your life so much easier.
Can be longer, but can be
yeah,
shorter.
like it shouldn't be shorter, because then you can struggle. Like I did it with this one. Let's cook it. And then on the last one, we are going to introduce a new color, orange. And I use 239. And ombre is such a design like which never gets out of the fashion, you know, like it's always popular. Clients love it, and you can combine it for any time of the year, like absolutely any time of the year. And I'm just gonna bring in yellow on the bottom and cut a fresh piece of the sponge this time. I like to do those kind of little mistakes because you can see it yourself, like that's if we do say something, it is actually easier to do it that way. So fresh piece. It is mainly about the length of the sponge, so it doesn't matter actually the how wide the sponge is, it is more about the length of it. Okay, remove the fluff and then blend it. As I say, I also love really the tweezer, because with the tweezer you do not touch the product, which is absolutely fantastic. So keep blending it. But also you could see it, another mistake I did with this one, I didn't catch my sponge really well with the tweezer, and it wasn't blending nicely. So you need to kind of really make sure you do place your sponge like nice in the central of the tweezer. Now, quite often, like I will get the question, why do you sprinkle the acrylic powder over it? So the main reason of sprinkling the acrylic powder over it is to get those rough surface where we can get the better coverage of our gel polish. Otherwise, the sponge will drink too much product. Okay, so now we are just gonna reblend those colors again, and you've got two choices. You can either reapply the gel polishes you have used, but I'm never doing a lot of it, so I would just put a very small amount of it in the middle, because there is no need of that. You've got quite a lot of product left on your sponge. Okay, so I'm just touching it up a little bit in the middle, like almost with the dots, and now I'm searching for the sponges which I have used. So for this one, blue was on the top, then we had pink yellow. That's the sponge. Okay, so this is the sponge we have used. Make sure it's right in the middle, and now we are blending it at the angle. So I'm keeping the sponge at the angle to have those angle ombre. Okay, and look what is happening. We are getting an absolutely amazing color blend, and there is lots of gel polish left on the tip. You want to also go a little bit up and down, just so your colors blend a bit nicer. Okay, so up and down, but everything going nicely at the angle. And this way we have created a really beautiful ombre. Let's cure it. Really nice and intense. I mean, I quite like it, the pastel look of them, especially for a winter time. But I wanted just to show you those acrylic technique. And then we've got this sponge. So turquoise on the top. Again, I'm keeping it at the angle. Because we want the ombre to be at the angle. Tap, tap, tap. And we've got another beautiful color mix. So maybe on this one, I'm going to show you that you don't have to necessarily even apply sometimes the gel polish over it. Let me see if it will work. So I've got still some product left on my sponge, and you can see it. Now the tip is drinking what I've got left on the sponge because it has this clear acrylic powder over it. Okay, so you don't have to even sometimes reapply it. Or what else you could do it is you could reapply it only the color which you think is not intense enough. So like in this case, you could just maybe reapply the turquoise and a blue, and the other ones should take well, but I'm just going to touch up entire tip, just a small amount of it. And of course we have to decorate it with something just so it's more interesting. And for this one, that was the one which we have struggled. I'm just going to cut a fresh piece of use the fresh piece. Blend those two colors in together. Up and down. And we've got another mix. Let's cook it and move on into the next step. There is nothing better than Aurora Chrome in the winter months. I love it. I mean, in the summer as well. So I'm just taking my High Shine No Wipe Top Gel. And we are gonna cover the entire tip with it. And you can see it, it's already like the texture has changed so much. So we've got this rough look, and then we've got really nice and smooth on the top, where we have put the top coat. I am quite careful how I'm applying the top coat because I want the surface to be really nice and smooth, otherwise it will show with the chrome. Like each time when we're working with the chrome, you want to make sure things are really nice and pretty, because chromes works like a magnifying glass. And then cure it. I actually love this combination, and pink and yellow, like, it looks so fantastic together. And actually yellow, pink, blue as well on its own. So you don't have to do it as many colors. You could do it, this ombre, with 2 colors, 3 colors. I just wanted to show you a little bit harder, and as I say, at the different angle, because normally you see there is a wee bit of the rough surface. Normally you see the ombre like done quite straight. So I wanted to do it at the angle for a change for you. Something a little bit harder. For those of you guys who are watching our first time, first time, there's lots of videos when I'm using this technique in a salon, like on the client's nails, which are short. Like, there is hardly any free edge. You can see it, and that's it. It's actually really easy and fast technique to do it. And also the sponges, the tweezers, and the coils I have used are available on our website, and we do post internationally. So if you liked this video, you can hit subscribe button. So there is lots of tutorials to catch up on as well. Like, we've got over 1,000 videos on this channel. So lots of useful knowledge from different subjects. And then once we've got them all nice, you can see it, I'm really fussy with this top coat application and I keep checking it at all the angles. I can start applying the chrome. Okay, so we've got Aurora Chrome, and for chromes you want to cure your top coat. So first of all, for a chrome, like for a total beginner, guys, if you're working with the chrome, you need a no-wipe top coat. This is a top coat which doesn't have an inhibition layer, and you want to make sure that you do cure it at 60 seconds, just so your chrome can stick in really well to it. And then I'm just taking a small piece of the chrome, like small amount of the chrome, and start rubbing it in. Like, make sure you get rid of all the loose powder, because if you do have some loose powder which is not wrapped in, you can kind of get those grainy look, and we really don't want. I cannot believe how amazing it looks over the orange. Look at this, it's so pretty over the orange, absolutely amazing. Okay, so the first one is nicely wrapped in. I can grab another one. So pretty. And here we've got another one. I've got dilemma now, because one side of me is saying leave them alone because they look so pretty, and then the other side of me says like no, put something over it. So Patrick, what should we do? Just leave them alone? Leave alone, okay. He likes them so much as well. Okay, we are gonna leave them alone. But to be able to do so, we need to protect our chrome, so we need to top coat it. Let me wrap it over this one. We could do like on frosty design, snowflakes, anything on top of it, like really. But yeah, we are just gonna leave them alone, Patrick says, and I'm gonna listen to him today. So, wow. I usually do, Patrick. Okay, so we are gonna take a top coat and just top coat our design. Now here's another thing, like, so I find it that if we're working with the Aurora Chrome, this is a chrome which tends to last best on the nails. Like, even if we just apply the top coat over it, most of my, like 99% of my clients will come back with this chrome all intact. Okay, even if they work like a lot with their hands and they go a lot in the water, everything will stay quite nice. The trouble is usually starting with the chromes which aren't like multi-chrome. So Aurora is a multi-chrome, which means on each color it will look slightly different, but there are some chromes which already got the color in them. They are more tricky. So for Aurora, I'm just applying top coat, and this is absolutely fine. This is enough. Like, usually I even don't bother about scratching the free edge. But if I would use a color chrome, like a solid color, say example, a gold or silver or red, then you want to either scratch the free edge, because what is happening, we are applying top coat, shiny top coat over shiny top coat, and that's a slidey surface, and the gel sticks in either too rough or a sticky layer. You want to scratch this free edge. You could apply like universal air bond at the free edge, or you could apply a thin layer of the base gel over your chrome and then apply the top coat. That will prolong lasting time. Okay, so I'm just gonna cure them all and then show you the final results. And I hope you have really learned something new, how to do different type of ombre. I really love it, like this color combination, absolutely amazing. So we've got the first one in here. Look how nice and sparkly it is. I would still like put something over it, but we are gonna listen to Patrick today, so gonna keep it clear. It looks amazing this way as well, like absolutely amazing. Then another one. Let me just move them. Another thing is, like always when you cure your nail designs or a client's hands, wait a couple seconds before you touch the top coat. You wanted it to cool down for a few seconds before you touch it, but that's the finished results of those ombre nails. Like they look absolutely fantastic. And I hope you have really enjoyed it. If you did, hit the share button so the other can see it as well. Sending you huge glittery hugs and see you in the next video. Bye!